Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a great day so far. My name is Jurassic KM and welcome to today's Repaint video. In this video, which is the 50th overall Jurassic KM episode on this channel, we will be doing another big one. We will be covering the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. Now, anytime that I've done this design before, I've always copied off of somebody else's steps. We're not going to do that here. I want to try and make my own take of the JP3 Spinosaurus from scratch. So I have the figure primed, and let's see where this goes. We're going to start off our Spinosaurus with a base coat of 2:1 Amish gray, and you are going to want to do 2 coats of this one. Now we're going to cover the Amish gray with a 1:5 wash of Wisteria. So now we're going to take some Storm Cloud Gray. Let's mix it 1:2 with water. And we are going to use a fine tip brush, and we are just going to pick out some of the individual scales along the body. I just want to add that speckling effect to the Spinosaurus's skin. We're going to do a 1:1 of natural buff for the undersides of the feet and the undersides of the fingers. Now we do a 1:1 mix of raw umber and Amish gray, and we are going to mix that 1:7 with water, and we're going to paint it over the entire figure except inside the mouth. We're going to take a 1:10 of burnt umber, and we're going to apply it on the overbelly and the lower jaw, but do not put any on the sail. Now we put together a 3:1 mix of white and Amish gray, and then you want to mix that, let's do 2:1 with water, and we are going to paint the white stripe down the side of the Spinosaurus as well as on the head, and we're going to map out the patterns on the sail with this color. Now we're going to take a 1:10 mix of white, and we're just going to dab it along the white line that we just put down on the Spinosaurus. If the paint runs out in between the cracks of the scales, that's exactly what we're looking for. All right, that didn't work as well as I thought it would have, so I'm going to take a finer tip brush, and I'm just going to try and paint out some of the white cracks. You also want to have some of these white cracks connect from the top of the sail down to the white line. Now we're going to do a 1:3 of natural buff. We're going to start at the tip of the tail. We're going to run this along the spine. We are also going to cover the top bits of white on the sail, and then we're also going to paint in the patterns on the back of the neck and the top of the head with this. Now we are going to dry brush some white on the scoots and the underbelly. We're now going to do a 1:1 mix of natural buff and bright orange. We are going to mix this 1:5 with water, and we are going to paint all of the natural buff that we have on the tail and only about the top half of the natural buff on the sail. We're then going to cover all the natural buff on the back of the neck and the top of the head. Now we do a 1:1 of spa blue, and we're going to fill in those gaps on the Spinosaurus's sail. Now we're going to dry brush some red on top of the orange on the tail and on the very top of the sail, as well as the back of the neck, the very top of the skull, and the end of the snout. Now let's take a 1:5 of coastal blue, and let's put it over the spa blue on the sail. Now we're just going to take some slate straight out of the cap, and we're going to paint the claws. Now we're going to take a 1:5 mix of raw umber. We are going to apply it on the orange and red mix that is on the tail. We're also going to cover the entire sail, and we are also going to cover the back of the neck as well as any orange and red patterns that are on the head, including the end of the snout on the bottom jaw. We're not done with the washes yet. Everything below the raw umber we just applied, we're now going to take a 1:5 of Amish gray, and we're going to apply that everywhere except inside the mouth. This is one of those moments that really drives home just how frustrating I find the Spinosaurus color scheme to replicate. Overall, I like what the gray wash did to the brown skin color. Now it's a nice mix of brown and gray, kind of like the Spinosaurus itself. However, I don't like what it did to the white striping that we had put down earlier. So I'm going to try dry brushing some white over the striping spots and see if we can fix it. This is better, but something's still missing. I'm going to sleep on it and come back to this in a few hours. Many hours later. Sometimes you just got to step away from a project for a few hours and come back to it, because when you work on something for a little too long, you tend to get lost into it and you may miss some things. I figured out what the issue was. Well, I was trying to tone down the brown tone that was on the Spinosaurus with the gray wash. I think I went a little too far with the gray, but I did find a way to fix it, and I've tested it on this side of the head. You want to take 4 drops of raw umber, 2 drops of Amish gray, and 1 drop of wisteria, mix it in, and then you're going to dry brush this new brown all around the white striping patterns on the overbelly. Now let's tackle the inside of the mouth. We're going to do a 1-to-1 mix of natural beige and cherry blossom pink, and we are going to paint the jaw muscles and the gums. We're now going to mix a 2-to-1 mix of cherry blossom pink and deep red, and we are going to paint the tongue. Now we're going to do a 3-to-1 mix of antique white and daffodil yellow for the teeth. Finally, what we're going to do is we're going to take a 1-to-10 mix of burnt umber, and we're going to spread it on the teeth and the inside of the mouth. Once that is dried, we're going to clear coat the figure, then add the clear nail polish to the inside of the mouth, the eyes, nostrils, and claws, and we're finally going to call the Spinosaurus done. And thus concludes my from-scratch attempt at the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. Yeah, we may have hit a couple of bumps along the way, but overall, I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out, and I don't want to tempt fate. You know, there's nothing saying that I can't always just revisit this design later on down the road. Now, for the next time on the repaint table, with Rebirth coming out in a couple of weeks, let's do a Rebirth design. We are going to take the Mattel Lab Lockdown Tyrannosaurus Rex, and we're going to turn it into the River Raft Tyrannosaurus Rex. And also be on the lookout for the special bonus episode where I will be doing a spoiler discussion for Predator, Killer of Killers. Folks, if you've made it this far into the video, I do want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch it. If you like what you've seen, be sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for any future notifications, and share this video around. And until next time, this is Jurassic KM, signing off.